Those items surely brought back fond memories to those of us who attended the Commonwealth Games. And for those of us who didn't go, I'm sure that you enjoyed it all the same. Now, before we close, here are two items of community interest. There will be a grand carnival J.A. Trini jump up to be held at the Sacred Heart Community Hall on February 24th. Music will be provided by various West Indian discotheques. The price is $2. The Edmonton Sound Improvement Society will also be having a Valentine Day special dance, and that's going to be on February 16th at the King Edward Park Community Hall. The price there will be $4, and music again will be provided by 4 of the Caribbean's well-known discotheques. Now, that's all we have for today's show. We sincerely request that you write to us with any comments that you have. Goodbye and have a good day.
I'm Dr. Mike Raspberry, and I'd like to welcome you to Pets and People. Interested?
Good evening, and welcome to Focus on Fort Saskatchewan.
Good evening. Welcome again to Urgent Issues.
And when you have, adjust it yourself. Don't disturb yourself.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Living with Change.
Programs from the community, for the community. In Edmonton and surrounding district, this is Capitol Cable 10.
Now? As soon as we're finished with this camera, we're going to turn off. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike Derry along with, this is Gordon McKay along with Mike Derry. And we're bringing you the opening round game of the Ogopogo Classic for 1979. And in this game, we're featuring M.E. Lazerte High School out of Edmonton. And of course, they're playing the host Penticton Lakers Club. And to get the ball rolling tonight, I'm going to ask Mike to give you a little bit of background on the Lakers and their recent performances and what we can expect from the Lakers in tonight's game. Mike?
Right there, the Lakers have been on for a pretty good start this year. They've lost 8, they've won 14 basketball games. So this came off a great big tournament victory on the island. And, so they're all charged up and trying to get ready for the Okanagan battle that's going to be coming up. They played 2 league games. They're 2-0. And as I was talking to Coach Fedoruk before the basketball game, he says that the Okanagan has 7 very competitive teams, and it's going to be very tough to get out of the Valley this year. So this tournament on this weekend is going to be a good tune-up for the rest of the season.
All right, Mike, and of course at the other end of the court warming up, we have with us from Edmonton, M.E. Lazerte Composite High School out of Edmonton, and they're 6-0 in the City League in Edmonton, so they have a fine basketball team. They're led by their center, number 22, Vern Yonkers. He's out there without the warm-up top on. Vern is a 6'8 center, and according to his coach, Thomas Alensky, he's been averaging 23 points a game. To go along with Yonkers, they have a good guard, tremendous guard, 6'1". We were watching him in warm-ups, great leaping ability. He's number 10 in the gray tonight. His name is Corey Workman, and he's also averaging over 20 points a game. So between those two ball players, they're averaging 43 points a game. Then they have another forward, 6'4", Mike, by the name of Ron Hewitt, and he will be number 13, and he is averaging 15. So that's close to 60 points production out of 3 players, and of course, with that kind of production, you're well aware that this Edmonton team can put the points on the board, and they are averaging over 85 points a game and have a 7-2 record overall. What do we look for tonight then, Mike?
Well, from this Edmonton team, they have not just this year a good record, but they've had an outstanding record for the last 3 or 4 years. They've graduated a lot of players right up to university basketball in the prairies, and so we're looking for a high-scoring game, a wide-open game. At least we hope so. We think it'll be a very entertaining game. Yonkers looks like he's very mobile for a big man. He's 6'8", and of course Thad Elder is leading the Lakers this year in scoring. It should be a real shootout. Now that should be exciting. Talking to their coach before the game, he said that they were very pleased with the team this year. They lost a lot of players from last year. Hewitt is one of the few experienced players. He was coming off their bench last year, so it should be a good game, Gord. I think it'll be interesting to compare the two provinces. This Edmonton school has been ranked number 1 in the province. They were ranked number 1 last year. They didn't win the provincial, but they were ranked number 1 most of the year. So it should be very interesting.
One thing that Coach Fedoruk was saying before the game, he's not going to start one of his top shooters, and that's Roger Dyer. Roger's got a bit of an ankle problem, so Coach Fedoruk has elected to start 6'6" Dan Brosick, and that also may be a factor in that the Edmonton team has a 6'8 center, Vern Yonkers. Gives them a little more rebounding. However, they give a little up on the shooting because Dyer is a much better shooter than Brosick. Yeah. Also, just getting back to the lineups, Mike, as they introduce them here, there's a correction here. The Lazerte Voyageurs are in their gray uniforms tonight, so their numbers will be different, but we'll give the numbers as soon as the starting lineups head out onto the floor.
Dyer's ankle is not a serious injury. Coach Fedoruk says it's been strapped up and he will be able to play tonight. Gary Slater, of course, is another player that we want to mention tonight. He's been having a very good season lately. He's a strong rebounder and a good leaper. In the pre-game warm-ups, we had several kids who were dunking the basketball, which is a lot of fun for the fans to watch in the warm-up show.
Well, Gary Slater, as you mentioned, has given the Lakers another dimension in that he's very aggressive, and they need that aggressiveness. All 3 of their forwards are not super aggressive. Dyer and Brosick in particular. Elder does go to the hoop very well. Here we have the starting lineups. Number 11 starting at guard is 160, 6'2" Blair Stevens. Here's the fellow I was talking about, number 23, Corey Workman. He's averaging 20 points a game, and he's a 6-foot guard. On the forward spot, Ron Hewitt, number 24, is 6'4", and he's averaging 15 points a game. Chris Lamb, 6'2", 165 forward, and here's the center, 6'8", number 22, Vern Yonkers, and he's been tossing in points at the rate of 23 a ball game. Take the hometown Lakers, Mike.
Okay, Bobby McDonald, senior in grade 12, will be starting. Good, tough defensive basketball player in his last year of Laker basketball. And here comes Danny Brosick, first-year Laker, grade 11. Danny's 6'6". Brent Dolfo, their leader and a good outside shooter, good playmaking guard. Here comes Thad Elder, the highest scoring Laker on the season so far. And Captain Stan Peters coming out. Stan has had a few problems with concussion in the last couple of basketball games, and Coach Fedoruk was worried about him. His doctor has given clearance to play.
Neither the Lakers have a much smaller lineup on the floor. Mike, it'd be interesting to see how they can handle this taller Edmonton team, particularly since it looks as if the Edmonton guards really leap well. And the other thing is, neither team has any players what we consider muscle players. There are a lot of tall players, but no one has a lot of weight to go with that height. And that could be a factor, and it certainly won't be a decided advantage to either team anyway. All right, jumping up here, we have Elder going up against Yonkers. Elder outleaps him, but the Edmonton team controls the ball. Workman takes a 15-footer, nowhere near the rim, and the Edmonton coach, Alinsky, thought his players might have a little difficulty adjusting because they've never played on glass backboards except maybe once or twice in a year, which is unusual because most of the high schools out here have them, Mike.
Yes, they do. He said the only 2 schools in the whole city have glass backboards.
Edmonton looks to be setting up in a 2-2-1, trying to get the ball inside to Yonkers. There's Workman going to the hoop. He misses. Good rebound by Elder. Good outlet. And here comes the left-handed Dolfo. He pulls up, then goes inside. He's got 2 off the glass.
Coach Bedard said they might be starting with a man-to-man press, but it doesn't look like they are.
They're picking him up half court. Just off that first series, Edmonton did not look like they adjusted well in the transition from offense to defense. They're very slow getting back into the defense. Workman goes to the side, and it's obvious that he likes to handle the ball, Mike.
Corey Workman's now 2 for 3, and he's looks like he's a very good shooter. A nice, smooth guard.
He tied that up at 2-all, and there goes our good shooter. That's Thad Elder going up. And for 6'6", he has a nice touch.
Yes, he does. Edmonton's playing his own defense.
There was a bad shot. Here they come. Peters going to cut by him. Good leaping ability by Peters, but he doesn't get it up. Here comes Workman. He misses the big kid down court. Yonkers flips it off. That's number 24. He's left-handed.
Ron Hewitt.
Hewitt, right. And there's another left-handed shooter, and that, of course, is Dolfo. Elder got the rebound, took it in, but Yonkers clubbed him as he went by, so Thad will go to the line. Well, so far, Mike, it's been a little racehorse basketball. Neither team has tried to establish any sort of control.
No, and the defense has not been as aggressive. We thought perhaps one of the teams would come out and press. We were expecting the Lakers to press early. We'll see if they press after this free throw. I'm very impressed with Workman, though, their guard, right off the bat. Aren't you, Gord?
He's a great natural athlete. He moves well on the court, and he has good rhythm. I don't know how much he likes to handle the ball, and that may be a factor. If he has the ball all the time, no one else is going to see it.
When he was handling the ball, though, his head was up, and he had, he had a good sense of the court. Now there goes the Lakers with their press. Now they've turned the ball over for the first time.
And there was very little pressure on that. The kid just threw the ball out of bounds without any pressure. Easy drive for McDonald. He missed the shot, but he went around that guard like he was standing still.
One of the things, of course, the Lakers have over Edmonton is the experience, game experience.
There's a good lob pass to McDonald. Travel. Good pass by Dolfo. He put a nice lob in that ball. And if Edmonton doesn't tighten up, I get a feeling the Lakers are going to be heading for a big scoring night.
Yes. Danny Brosik's drawing the assignment on Yonkers.
Workman took himself out of the play. Good lead pass. Dolfo for 2.
Yes, Edmonton is not transitioning from offense to defense. The other thing that Alinsky is going to be not used to is only having 2 timeouts per half. Whereas in Edmonton, they've been playing international rules, but they've been allowing them 5 timeouts like in NCAA rules.
The outlet was there again. What I was just going to say is that this Edmonton team is going to have to set up and use their height. Otherwise, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I can tell you right now, they will not run with the Lakers because they haven't handled the ball, it looks to me, Mike, under this type of pressure. Not that the Lakers have really come at them yet, but they're forcing passes, and they're not getting good percentage players. There's Yonkers driving. That's the kind of play they're going to need.
Yeah.
He went up inside, got hit. Back come the Lakers. Dolfo pumps for 2. Mind you, the other thing is, too, we must remember Edmonton's playing away from home, and it may take them a quarter or 2 to get themselves adjusted.
Yeah. Well, one thing they do, they look a little bit disorganized. They don't seem to be running a pattern offense. And
oh, did Workman go up and block that shot?
Beautiful check by Harvey. Must have got a bit of the hand. Or was there a foul? Yeah.
Timeout by Tom Alinsky, and he's going to need one right now.
Yes,
because
scored 10-2, and his team does not look good in running any kind of offense. It looks a lot of individual stuff, Workman comes up the floor and nods, and the player cuts out. Last time there were 2 players cut out. They turned the ball over, and of course it ended up with Workman fouling at the other end.
The other factor, Mike, is that they are not, as we said earlier, making any transition to defense. The Lakers have come out 3-on-2, 2-on-1, and as they get rolling with Elder and Brossett coming out there, and they haven't put Slater and they haven't put Dyer. This would be Dyer's kind of game because they back off, and if you give Rogers a step, he's going to pop it for you.
That's right. The other thing, when we were talking to, just to show you some of the differences between the 2 provinces, he said that the game that he watched before his game, Alinsky said that the referees called a lot closer here than they do in Edmonton. They allow a lot more physical game there.
That's interesting, Mike, because Edmonton doesn't look like a physical ball club.
No, they certainly don't. They haven't yet.
If you want to see a physical ball club, the tournament that we took the boys to down in Healdsburg, now that they play a very, very aggressive game.
Yeah.
This game, by the way, is being telecast, we understand, back in Edmonton next week, and we'd like to say hello to all the fans on the prairies and let them know that we're enjoying our winter weather. It's fairly cool out here, and 1.5 feet of snow to make the boys feel at home. Also, I'd like to say hello to an old friend of mine, Jürgen von Schilling, who coaches high school basketball and is a pretty well-known golfer in the Edmonton area. Well, that kicks it up to 11-2 as the Lakers open up an early lead, then come out in a man-to-man press. Here comes Workman down the middle, should feed it, does. Good pass, hammered off the board by number 33, Chris Lamb. Very little touch on that shot. Workman gets it back and he hammers it. Lamb's got the rebound and he hammers it. Not much touch inside, and out they come, 4-on-2. Good lead pass, up to Dolphel. Dolphel feeds a good move to Elder, 2 points. Good kick back there by Brent Dolphel.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Lakers are running well. The score is 13-2. Now it looks like the Edmonton kids are going to start to run some screens away from the ball. And we have another turnover on the play.
I'm not meaning to belittle the Edmonton team at all, but their defense is just not as strong as Lakers are used to, and it's just strong enough to make the Lakers look good because they're cutting through it and they're making little pass-offs, and it's really making their offense look very good right now. Round comes Elder, fakes, nice pass inside, tied up. But that's what I mean. You shouldn't be able to get that pass in that easily.
No, they haven't got their hands up on the zone. It looks like a very slack zone and something that they're going to have to tighten up considerably.
Stan Peters' ball, but Stan's a good jumper. I wouldn't be surprised if he got up. No, he loses that jump, but the other boy was 3 or 4 inches taller. There's Workman. He's going for 2, and he's off the front of the rim. Elder way up to pull that down. Here comes Peters, traveled. Good call. Officials tonight are Bob Sire and Bill Bidlake, 2 local officials. This is not going to be a difficult game to referee, I don't think, because the ball will be moving faster than most of the players. They're moving the ball really well. Workman is the one that dribbles. Called Workman on the charge. Workman looks at him in disbelief. That's the toughest call in basketball. Both players moving. Whether one or not was established, difficult call to make.
Very difficult, and that's his second foul too, and both on very, very, very close calls.
Yeah, the first one was on that blocking charge, and there's Dolphel from 25, off the rim.
Too far out.
Number 11 is Blair Stevens. He puts it over to Workman. Workman up to Hewitt. They're not getting the ball to the big man.
No, there's a nice basket though.
That's Tom Schleider who's in the game. That's not a percentage shot. It's interesting to me when you got a 6'8" center that you don't try and get him the ball.
That's right. I think that's at least you should be running off a screen or having him cut across the top of the key, something.
Jeff informs me, my son, the statistician here, that it's Stephen Blair, not Blair Stephen. My apologies. They're going inside to
nice steal by
Elder.
Workman.
Good steal. Should feed. No, he's going to take it all the way.
Nice hoop.
Good hoop. Tough shot. He could have fed for a lay-in. Good play. Workman's used to going to the hoop, I can tell you that.
Yeah. He's deceiving. I would like to see him use his quickness just a little bit more on his penetration and start kicking off to the big guy inside.
Well, the zone has slowed the Lakers down. Good strategy by the Edmonton coach. He's got the Lakers off balance right now, and they're closed the gap. It's now 13-6, 4:36 to go. Edmonton may gain enough poise on this zone to get back in the game. We'd like to see a good ball game tonight. We're hoping for something under 10-pointer. First game, the Kelowna Owls blew out the Vancouver Tech Talisman, and in this round-robin tournament, Kelowna will play Edmonton tomorrow afternoon, while Lakers will play Van Tech. Van Tech, I would think, is the weaker team of the 3 teams in the tournament.
Yes.
There's Workman turning the ball over. Here comes Bobby.
Nice shoot by McDonald.
Number 5, Bobby McDonald puts it up. 15-6 Lakers. We got Dolphin and Bobby McDonald playing the guards. Elder up front along with Dan Drosses.
Danny Brossick's doing a really good job on Yonkers.
Brossick's really doing a good job. He's fronting him. He's not letting Yonkers get to the ball.
No, and he's keeping him away from the basket and coming up with the rebounds.
Good pass. Bobby McDonald, 15-footer off the rim. Taken away nicely by Dolphin. And he hits it. Nice high arcing shot. That makes it 17-6. Lakers are a little fortunate there. McDonald didn't have good shot selection. He's got better shooters on the team than to force that when they're right down court. If it's near the end of the 30 seconds, we can understand it. Good pass, knocked away nicely by Brossick, off his hand. Yonkers is frustrated out there. Maybe he hasn't got anybody else in Edmonton 6'8" or 6'7" to check him. When he stands beside Brossick, they almost look the same height.
Yes, they do.
He may be a short 6'8".
Danny Brossick's playing really tough defense on him, and he's just almost ignoring the ball and playing so much pass denial that Vern can't get open. I think it's probably a good experience for Vern Yonkers.
He may not get his 23 tonight. Elder's doing a great job on the boards too. The Edmonton team now is down by 11, 17-6 with 3:07 remaining in the first quarter. Number 21, Tom Schleider, tripped over the line on the floor, I think. He just fell down. There's a good rebound by 24, but he can't convert it. That's Ron Hewitt. Out come the Lakers again. They're running well. I think this will really tell in the second half. There's Brossick with his first shot of the night, and he hoops it. Brossick has nice touch when he gets that ball up high, and he puts it in very well. Good touch. Yonkers he just hasn't been a factor out there.
No, not at all.
And we must give Brossick some credit for that, but Yonkers is not moving for the rebound either. They don't have any inside game. There they set a pick and across. Good defenses. Dolphin picks him up. And there's a nice high arcing shot. Good touch on that ball. And that's number 14, Ronnie Wong, who's into the game, a 5'9" guard. Back on the Lakers. McDonald inside to Peters. Peters tied up. Better get rid of it. There he goes inside. Good drive.
Yeah.
I think the difference right now, Mike, is that the Lakers are used to going to the hoop against pressure and...
Nice penetration.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'd like to point out, even on that drive, is that I don't think Edmonton is used to the pressure defense. And once they adjust to that, they'll start making their shots. But right now, every time they go for a shot, they're checked. And that's throwing them a little off their game, because I think usually if they'd made that shot at home, I'm just guessing, that he'd have had a wide open drive there and he just laid it in.
That's right. And another thing we must mention, that this is this is the Lakers' 23rd basketball game of the season, so they've had a lot more game experience just on the season alone. Whereas Edmonton, Walensky said that they had 2 losses very early, didn't even count them in his schedule, 6 real games in their league. So they haven't had that much game time this year.
There's Brossick from 20 feet this time, and he hits that one. Also, the Lakers have their other fine shooting forward into the game now, Roger Dyer, number 14, and he can pop them. So they got 3 forwards in there that can hit the basket. There's a good block by Elder. Good aggressive follow-up, knocked out of bounds and back in bounds. Here's Dyer now, bringing the ball up court. McDonald gives it to Dyer. Dyer looking, fakes, back to McDonald. Still playing in the zone. Brossick saves it, back they come. That's a long shot.
Yeah.
Little out of Brent's range. It'll go for you sometime, but it's not a good percentage shot.
Good defense by Brent. Just about stole the ball from Wong there. Here comes Yonkers, swinging around.
He went to the hoop, and that's what he's got to do.
Yeah. And drew the foul. Thad Elder got the foul on that play.
Watching that last play, though, even though when they're cutting their forwards too, they're high up. They're not getting the ball low. Yonkers was just inside the foul lane when he received that pass, so he's still 15 feet from the hoop.
Exactly.
All right, Yonkers will have a chance to cut the lead here. It's 15 points right now. Now it's down to 14. 23-9. 53 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Well, we predicted a high score, but so far Edmonton hasn't got their offense going. We hope that they pick up the tempo just a little bit in the next quarter.
You can tell when a team is out of its game plan, because there he missed 2 out of the 3 foul shots. I'm sure he usually converts those. Dolphin Swings it across. Lakers moving the ball well. Now young Meiklejohn, Jim Meiklejohn's in the game, number 32. Brent, good look inside. Tipped away nicely. 30 seconds to go. Up court come the Lazerte Voyageurs from Edmonton. Good drive by Wong. Feeds off. Back to Wong. Puts it up. Off the front of the rim. Here they come back. 18 seconds. They know the clock. They took a look. Meiklejohn pulling up. They're going to play for a shot here. Dyer. Inside to our big number 13, and that's that Elder. And number 24 comes over the back, and he falls, and that's Hewitt. Lakers are doing a much better job of getting the ball inside, even though
they certainly are against his own defense, where, of course, in his own defense, theoretically, you want the other team to shoot from the outside. And they have been taking shots from the outside, but they have had fine penetration. Like, that's the third shot that...
How did you like that tip by Elder?
Beautiful.
Long shot by Dolphel. He goes
right
up,
at the buzzer.
one-hand stuff off the backboard, not a stuff, but he actually controlled that ball and put it back in off the glass. Beautiful touch on that. I think the other thing that's evident out here is that of the three big men, Brosick, Yonkers, and Elder has the much better leaping ability and also has much better timing, as we got the Lakers head-to-head 25-9 at the end of the first quarter. And I really feel that unless Edmonton gets some defensive poise, not once they're in their zone's not too bad, but around the center court area, I really believe the Lakers are going to start to run in the second quarter.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
This would be, I'm going to be interested to see how the reaction takes place on the Edmonton part of the defense when Gary Slater gets in, because Slater goes to the backboards, and when he comes off with that ball, it's moving, and everyone else can run too. And I think that aggressiveness alone will be something that Edmonton has not seen before. At least that's my impression after the first quarter, Mike.
Yeah, well, of course, they've traveled today, too. They've had a long trip out, and maybe they're just a little bit slow getting started. They haven't looked good in the first quarter, defensively or offensively, but you can see some signs of life there. And I think if especially Hewitt can get his game going and help out underneath the boards, help Yonkers out, maybe they can get some things happening.
Dolphel and Elder both had 8 points each in that first quarter, and Brosick added 4. Brosick took 2 nice shots, long way from the hoop, but he got the ball up and had a nice touch on him. All right, jump ball. Brosick's going to go up against Yonkers. Elder's out of the game as Coach Fedork's inserted Gary Slater, whom we were just talking about. So this will be interesting. Slater comes out already, moving very quickly. There he is on the ball. Brosick inside. Looks like the Lakers are playing man-to-man pressure now. They're going to go after him. Yonkers had a little trouble getting rid of that. Wong, little step and a half, loses control of the ball on the pass. Back to number 23, Workman, 15-footer. Brosick holds Yonkers off the boards. And Brosick is not what you'd call a physical player, but he held Yonkers. Yonkers is getting a little frustrated. They got the zone. Just looking at the zone, the baseline player, Slater, is wide open down there if they get him the ball.
Yeah, they've got a 1-3-1 zone. So the Lakers have got 2 men at the baseline. They should be able to get a shot from the baseline position.
Jimmy Meiklejohn takes an outside shot. Back there they come. They got the big guy handling the ball. Yonkers, he kicks it back to Wong. Wong takes 15-footer, short, off the front of the rim, gets his own rebound. Yonkers tied up outside, going to try and go up over Brosick. Nice shot.
And Danny Brosick picks up here. I think it's his first foul.
Glad to see Yonkers getting a little more aggressive instead of kicking that ball off. He took it to Brosick and put it in off the glass. Substitution in there is Dale Aitken, probably the
Aiken, yeah.
The shortest man on the court at 5'9". He's replacing Brent Dolphel. So Coach Fedork must feel fairly comfortable, and he's going to start using his bench early. Although he does use his bench a lot.
The kids call it Daryl Pee-wee. He's Pee-wee on the team.
There's Meiklejohn again. He hits it left-hander.
Of course, everybody's shooting well with that big lead. Not too much pressure.
Well, this is what happens. You get ahead by 20. Everybody gets loose, and then you're trying to play catch-up, and you start making mistakes. You take yourself out of the game. There goes Workman to the hoop.
Very
good
nice
drive.
Beautiful.
That's a good play. They isolate. They overload the left-hand side of the court if we're looking at the hoop, and then clear out the right-hand side and let Workman go one-on-one. And with his jumping ability, no one's going to stop him. Got a chance to make a 3-point play here. He can cut the lead here to 13 points if he converts this.
Chris Lamb is coming in for Tom Schleider there on the substitution.
Lane violation on that play. Brosick in too soon, so Workman will get his second chance to knock in this point.
Corey Workman's been averaging in their first few ball games this season 20 points a game. And on that last drive to the basket, you can see how he does it.
Yes, if the team was not playing good defense, he'd go to the hoop all night against you. Lakers moving the ball against his own.
And Edmonton's a lot more mobile right now. They're working a little bit harder on their defense.
Oh, lucky bounce there by Meiklejohn. Yeah, that last basket seemed to give Edmonton a little more impetus to become aggressive, and they seem to get a little desire now. They might have been overawed in that first quarter, too. It's tough playing away from home.
It certainly is.
Yonkers saves it, but throws it right over the hoop. Air ball. Well, they got two men back now. Dyer hasn't taken a shot yet. Here's Meiklejohn again. He's hit a couple.
Yes.
That's his third one. Nothing lucky about that one. It hit nothing but net.
That's right.
Yonkers cut off in the baseline. Brosick kind of leaned into him, but he just stepped out of bounds.
And the Edmonton coach there was looking for a foul on that play, and it was a very close call, too.
It was a close call, but his player was not playing aggressive, and Brosick is not aggressive usually.
Well, he's aggressive, but not really physical.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. There's Yonkers. First big rebound I've seen him pull down, too. Kicks it out to Wong. Back to Yonkers, and away they go.
Well, see if they'll clear out a side again for Workman here. Pee-wee's working really hard on Wong. There's Yonkers way outside.
He doesn't look for the outside shot.
There
so
he goes.
Brosick steps out. And there goes Workman over top of him.
And Workman drives both left and right, although he didn't put it up with his left hand that time, but he does go to the hoop well. He was dunking the ball in the pregame warm-up too. At 6 foot, he's got a lot of spring in his legs.
He's exciting to watch. Good ball player. Yonkers going for the hook.
And
his own rebound. Oh, he's not having any luck around the basket. That's Gary Slater going up. Dyer still hasn't taken a shot in this game, and he's an excellent outside shooter.
Yes, he is.
And he should hit that. And he does. That stretches the lead
33-14
to 19 points.